Alrighty, everybody. Good evening to all of you. Thank you so much for joining me here at the Atlanta News First Alert Desk. I'm Savannah Louie. We've got your top 5 stories for tonight, for this evening here in Atlanta. And we're going to start with some breaking news. If you joined us for some of our evening newscasts today, you may have heard a major update to a double shooting here. This happening in Dekalb County. I want to show you the scene. This is from earlier this afternoon in a shopping plaza along Flat Shoals Road, again in Dekalb County. We're learning that 2 young men are in critical condition after a shooting on Flat Shoals Road, again this in Dekalb County. Now the shopping plaza where this occurred, you're looking at it right here, but it contains a barber shop, some sort of lounge, and a Food World store. In Atlanta we have confirmed again 2 men in their 20s were shot multiple times here. Our crew spotted at least 24 evidence markers outside Jimmy's Barber and Style on Flat Shoals Road. Police say both men are being treated for life-threatening injuries, and they are still investigating what led up to the shooting. We have had our anchor reporter Carly Barnett out there all afternoon. She's been gathering the latest details for us, and she is going to be bringing us later updates in our evening newscast as well as online. So hopefully you can join us on Peachtree TV at 9 and 10 or Atlanta News First on CBS at 11 o'clock. Otherwise, go to atlantanewsfirst.com for those updates. All right, we're going to move straight ahead here to a really interesting story. This one out of Clayton County involving some residents who are concerned their water is going to be turned off on Monday due to something they can't really control at all. They're confused and they're upset. Dozens of people living in one Metro Atlanta apartment complex might now be forced to find another place to live. The Clayton County Water Authority says a management company, owes nearly $98,000. Now, they posted a sign here at the Terra Woods apartment complex. Sorry about that. And they found that they will discontinue water service at Terra Woods apartment and the Red Apple Investments located at 661 Sherwood Drive. This is in Jonesboro, by the way. And again, this is due to Red Apple Investments' alleged past due balance of nearly $98,000. The Water Authority tells Atlanta News First they have tried unsuccessfully to work with Red Apple Investments since July of last year to pay that past due balance to avoid something like this from happening. Despite numerous attempts, and Red Apple receiving CARES Act funding in the amount of more than $15,000, they still have an outstanding balance of about $98,000. The Water Department says it has never been their desire to disconnect service for these residents, but it's reached the point where they don't really have another choice. And this is what's really impacting the people, the families who live here. The Clayton County Water Authority tells Atlanta News First they are coordinating with the Clayton County Fire Department and Clayton County Code Enforcement to make sure every resident out here, living out here, has a place to go. But can you imagine being a family in this situation where you just have a number of days to figure out a new living situation? Few families we spoke with today are absolutely devastated, very upset. Any updates to this story, we'll be sure to keep you posted and let you know. Hopefully there is some sort of positive resolution here. Okay, I want to move ahead. Speaking of positive resolutions, we actually have something that's pretty exciting here in Atlanta, Fulton County, surrounding our 911 call center. If you have been joining us at Atlanta News First for months or even years at this point, this is not going to be news to you. We have had serious issues with the wait times when it comes to our 911 dispatch. In some cases, it can take far too long for those calls to get an answer, and as a result, for people to get the help they need here in Atlanta, Fulton County. But new updates to the 911 call center hope to change that. Our reporter Patrick Pete went out to the new call center upgrades today. And the big deal here is the locator technology. The 911 call center relied on the person calling 911 to know where they were in the past. So, for example, if you were in a car crash, you would have to let the folks answering the phone know where you were. Problem is, not everybody's that familiar with the Atlanta area, with the Atlanta streets. Now, with an upgraded tech system, operators can just find you on your own. We got a first-hand look at this new operating system using the Universe system. That's what it's called. The real-time locator function is accurate to within just about 15 feet, which is pretty amazing. The new tech system also allows 911 operators to use pictures or videos taken by the 911 caller. This can help get the right type of assistance out to the person who is in need. Now, one operator we spoke with today tells us in a recent 911 call, after seeing video from the scene of a car crash, she knew that dispatching an ambulance was absolutely necessary. So that's the kind of aid we're talking about here. All of this went live in June, and it's part of a bigger, large-scale tech upgrade. Earlier this year, 911 operators got the ability to prioritize their calls. Non-emergencies went to the back of the line, and emergencies moved up in the queue. Already, Atlanta's 911 is seeing major improvements. In fact, wait times after calling 911 have dropped from about 40 seconds to 14 seconds compared to this time last year. I know that is reassuring news for all of us who not only live here in the city of Atlanta, but drive through, maybe work through, or play in Atlanta. Always something going on here, right? So that's definitely some reassuring news. All right, I want to get straight ahead to a bizarre story here. This one out of Dekalb County. As we're learning, there is a strange connection to an ATM bombing and unidentified human remains. This again out of Dekalb County. Our reporter, Chelsea Beimfor, is going to take it from here and explain what all is going on in this very strange situation.
Just when you think things are over, as far as this situation is concerned, something else happened.
Ken Schultz lives on Scott Boulevard in Decatur. Since April, he's witnessed 2 police raids at the home next door.
Then I look out further and I see that there's the whole entire property over here is again swarmed by police vehicles, and they've got the whole thing blocked off.
The first search happened April 29th, the same day that Dekalb police arrested Schultz's neighbor, Abdurrahim Jalal, for allegedly blowing up an ATM at a Dekalb County bank in March.
The bomb squad was banging on my door about 30 minutes later saying, do you have somewhere you can go?
Court documents reveal that investigators found 8 more pipe bombs inside Jalal's home, just one driveway over from Schultz.
You just wonder,
About 2 months later, Duluth police, a different agency, showed up to the home. When our partners at Decatorish asked them why they were at Jalal's house, they replied with a police report about human remains found at a property on Abbott's Bridge Road. On Wednesday, Duluth police said those remains belonged to this woman, who they need help identifying. Though investigators haven't elaborated on Jalal's involvement in that case, Schultz calls the whole situation shocking.
We've had conversations on a neighborly basis. And you would not think that something like that was going on with someone. But then again, you never really know what's going on behind someone else's door.
This is a developing story, and as we learn more about this investigation and everything that follows, we'll be sure to keep you updated on air and online. Again, AtlantaNewsFirst.com for all the latest updates, and of course, we are streaming regularly as well. Always happy to have you join us. All right, final story for tonight. I wanted to get this in because I know that it is so hot, and a lot of you always look forward to hopping in the nearest body of water to try to cool off during these hot summer months and weeks here. So I wanted to not talk about Metro Atlanta fireworks. I don't know why that lower third is saying that. I'll type in something else here. And this, unfortunately, is not what we want to hear, but I have an update on the Chattahoochee River and E. coli. Let's see if we can get this updated. Well, I just told you. Okay, anyways. The big update here is there is no update. No good update, at least. Authorities are saying it's going to take a little longer for them to figure out exactly when they can reopen the Chattahoochee River. This is after learning that part of the Chattahoochee is contaminated with E. coli. In fact, 15 miles of the river were closed after a sewage issue at a water treatment plant. unleashed high levels of E. coli in the river. Now today we learned repairs could now just be days away, so close, within reach, but not exactly here yet. Last week, a toxical chemical issue found its way into the Big Creek wastewater treatment plant. Officials say the toxin threw off the treatment process. Crews have been bringing in new microorganisms to restart the natural cleaning process, but that exact date for reopening the river, well, it's still up in the air. We're all hoping that it is going to be very soon because I know many of you look forward to shooting the hooch and hopping in or kayaking, and right now all of that is a no-go. You don't want to be near the contaminated water. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Sending you out with a picture of our beautiful Midtown Atlanta skyline. And to match this beautiful picture we have...
So kind.
We have the beautiful voice of an angel.
A very congested, slightly nasally angel.
Oh, my goodness. No, Cutter Martin, meteorologist Cutter Martin, bringing us the forecast. And, Cutter, this is really a week where I feel like we need the weather team more than ever because we've had showers, we've had spotty storms. It's hard to keep track of.
Yeah, classic summer stuff. You get the heat, you get the humidity, and then eventually both of those factors give way to scattered showers and storms. Not the type of pattern where we can easily say, hey, go ahead and cancel your plans or anything like that. But it is the type of pattern where, yes, there could be occasional, and I do mean occasional, plan impacts. So again, we're not really concerned about any like plan cancellations or anything like that. I'm not saying go out and cancel your plans, but this continues to be the type of weather setup where you will need to pay a little extra attention to the first alert forecast here over the next several days, especially as we get into our Friday, our Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then we may actually trend drier as we get into next week, next Tuesday and Wednesday. Going to pull up the weather computer here again, take you to what we're seeing right now. And we'll start with first alert radar, though, because we do have a little bit of rain out there this evening. Not quite done with the rain activity just yet, though drier than it was earlier. Again, first alert radar up on your screen right now. We're tracking showers and storms well west of the city of Atlanta. We'll go ahead and zoom down inside the perimeter. We are dry right now. No rain at the moment, though it does look like we may have a little bit of a blip, though this probably isn't actually rain. Not seeing too much from our Skycam at the moment, but nonetheless, something being detected there. Radar just to the south and west, right about here. As I circle it at the airport, or adjacent to the airport, is one radar and another radar here down in Fayette County. But that might not actually be a shower, but we'll keep an eye on that. I'll keep an eye on Skycams. Could be a new little shower trying to form. Off to the west, though, we do have some more organized rain. What is obviously rain. It's going to be a little shower here pushing through Polk County, Haralson County. This is pushing to the south and to the southeast. We'll go and put a tracker on this. I know a lot of folks trying to get the dinner plans done with, maybe get the dog walked. If it holds together, Draketown 826, Villa Rica 848. More substantial rain is still to the west, though, west of the state line. Showers and thunderstorms are really cranking here and could move into portions of Randolph County, especially south of Wadowee, back towards Roanoke. We'll put a tracker on this. Again, moving a little bit more kind of east-southeast, but could clip Randolph County, especially Roanoke to Wadowee, and point south and west from there into the Wadley area by 8:13. Again, that is Central Time. Midtown by 8:27 there in Randolph County. Heavy rain, lightning, and thunder with that storm. But in general, quieter than it was earlier, drier than it was earlier, and not quite as hot as it was this afternoon. Managed 93 degrees at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, hour-by-hour forecast. Again, it's always in the First Alert Weather app, so if you're away from the TV and you need to check out the forecast, see where that rain is popping up, First Alert Weather app, really good tool the next few days, as Savannah was mentioning. And the forecast hour by hour, notice how your rain chance will diminish as temperatures cool from the mid-80s, basically is where we are now, back to the lower 80s by 10 to 11 p.m., and then eventually upper 70s by midnight 2 a.m. And out the door tomorrow morning, we will keep your forecast dry. Temperature up to 80 degrees or so by 9 a.m. Your forecast remaining dry, at least for the time being. And then maybe some more showers and thunderstorms pop up tomorrow afternoon. First, so let's talk about out-the-door weather. Temperatures in the lower 70s in the morning. Inside I-285, a little cooler. Sugar Hill, Beaufort, Lawrenceville, Roswell, Alpharetta, Milton, Johns Creek, Duluth, all of these communities, north and northeast sides of town, about 69, 70 degrees, upper 60s, Common, Cobb, Douglas counties. Even Palmetto, the city of South Fulton, southwest side outside the perimeter, may get just below 70 briefly. McDonough at 69, the more widespread 60s, though, far north side, Canton, Cherokee County, Bartow County, on up into Gilmer County, Fannin County, our mountain and our higher elevation communities. 60s, the rule tomorrow morning, but with some humidity, still feeling just a little bit muggy out the door on your Friday morning. Hour by hour forecast, we're not in the 60s and lower 70s long. We're in the upper 70s to near 80 by 9 a.m. and low to mid 80s 10, 11, and noon. And some folks may be pushing upper 80s by that point. And I want to remind you, if you have any weather questions, comments, concerns, I know we're talking about the weekend forecast here, and you may want clarification as far as your plans are concerned. You can reach out Atlanta News First on YouTube. Just like and follow that account, or you can just watch this specific stream and give us a holler, and I'll monitor the comment thread here, answer any weather questions, comments, concerns as they come in. But for the vast majority of plans, tomorrow we are dry before noon. That'll allow temperatures to heat up here. Going for a high temperature in Atlanta of 91, 89 Gainesville, Athens 90, Rome is at 91, 88 for a high temperature in Noonan. So no matter which part of town you're on, it will be warm. And also with some of that humidity factored in, the moisture in the air, kind of that mugginess you're feeling today, it's back tomorrow, and with that factored in, feeling a few, maybe 3, 5, 7 degrees warmer than what the actual thermometer, what the actual air temperature is tomorrow. So just keep that in mind. Prepare for the feels like temperature, not just what the thermometer reads. And here is that hour-by-hour forecast. Zooming up into the mid-80s by 11, noon, 1, and notice how as we get into the upper 80s, showers and thunderstorms start popping up. Initially, very hit or miss, but increasing in coverage as we go into mid and late afternoon. Tomorrow could end up being a little bit stormier than today, kind of like yesterday was stormier than it was today. Today, kind of our lull. We dropped our rain chance about this time yesterday evening, said today would be a little bit drier. Sure enough, did end up being a little bit drier, and tomorrow going to boost that rain chance back up just a bit, primarily between lunchtime, noon, and dinner time, maybe 7, 7:30. Though it may take a little bit for some of that rain to diminish, but I do think by 10, 11, we're going to see the risk of rain really start to drop off. And as we get into our Saturday morning, a pretty quiet start to the day once again. Could be some patchy fog, patchy low clouds, and especially areas that see some heavy rain tomorrow afternoon. Muggy start once again. And then also, once again, showers and thunderstorms bubbling up as we get into the afternoon. Though I think, again, Saturday could be a bit of a drier day. Pop-up storms east, but we will be watching Saturday evening. Storms trying to sneak in from the north and west. And that'll carry us into our extended forecast. As we get into Sunday, the rain chance will increase, but mainly late in the day. In fact, looking like Sunday night into Monday morning could be pretty wet, but hopefully wrapping up before the morning commute with just about a scattered 40% chance of rain during the daytime hours. And that's because a little front's going to sneak south. If the front can push far enough south, that means that it'll be a little bit drier feeling and a lesser rain chance. Drier weather could re-enter the forecast as we get into our Tuesday and our Wednesday. Of course, heating back up, 91 Wednesday, 93 on our Thursday. Again, want to remind you as we kind of breeze through that forecast, give you an in-depth look at what's happening today, still tracking rain now, and what we expect through the weekend. You can always ask us weather questions, myself, Courtney Jacobazzi, Rodney Harris, Ella Dorsey. We have Fred Campania, Patrick Pete, Chief Meteorologist Jennifer Valdez. Ask any one of us weather questions on Twitter, Facebook, Threads, some of us, Instagram, any of those. Give us a holler. We will answer back. And a reminder, your forecast coming up in a fresh check in about 40 minutes. Atlanta News First on Peachtree TV, 9 o'clock hour, 10 o'clock hour. And then we're back on WANF with your complete forecast with First Alert meteorologist Fred Campania tonight at 11. We'll leave you with a live look outside, tracking some of those building clouds. Still a few showers this evening. If you have outdoor plans, maybe take the dog on a walk this evening before sunset or over the next hour or so. Keep an eye on the First Alert weather app.